What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I'm going to be predicting the review scores of Godfall. So, really quickly, to just kind of introduce this video, it's a way for me to talk about the game kind of one last time before the game releases. It gives me a chance to kind of talk about the strengths, the weaknesses, what I think game critics, right, the quote-unquote journalists of the gaming industry, what they will say, and what ultimately we will predict the review score. That's kind of the format of these videos, okay? It's kind of like a preview, a last-minute preview mixed in with the review scores, keeping in mind a few things. I don't go based off review scores, so I don't look at them for my decision to buy a game. I just do it, based off myself. With that being said, review scores are pretty darn important to games, really across the entire industry, and I know that a lot of people do look to review scores for what to think about a game, and that's totally cool, and ultimately, that is why I do these things, okay? So if you like it, make sure you guys like this video, make sure you guys are subscribed, and have the bell icon turned on. And look, I know that there is a underground following for Godfall, and I mean, that's a little bit of an exaggeration, right? Because we know this game is popular. We know this game is popular at least online, at least from the videos that they have posted online, because this game is, it gets a lot of views. People seemingly are pretty excited for it. And I made a video a few weeks back, and I said, like, is anyone excited for Godfall? I was trying to test my audience, see, the community, see if people, were actually into it. And the answer was actually kind of a resounding yes, that this game, there was a lot of no's, but there were also many more yeses than I thought, where people are pumped for this. And I will tell you, seeing people excited for it makes me more excited for it. This is not a game I anticipate getting day one. This is a game I think if it was on sale or something later on, I think that I would get it. The issue again with this game is, will it stand out? I think even like a review, going into the review, okay, going into like a review perspective, that to me is the biggest thing. I'm not gonna like purposely attack it just to attack it, okay? I'm gonna try and talk about strengths and weaknesses. I feel like if there is a game that's solely a tech demo, okay, which I don't think this game is, but if I had to say what PlayStation 5 launch game is a tech demo besides Astro's Playroom, which is a free game, okay, and that is literally a tech demo for the DualSense controller, I would say Godfall. I would say Sackboy, Demon Souls, Miles, all these, even Destruction All-Stars before it got delayed. These are games. I would say Godfall is the one that pushes the most, like, okay, here's what the PS5 can do, and maybe it's not going to be the greatest game underneath it. Now, that is solely, because I know maybe this will upset the Godfall community. That is solely an opinion, and I'm not sold, by the way, on that even happening, okay? I do think this game has a lot of solid aspects to it. I do not think this game looks bad in the not even just visually. I don't think this game looks bad at all. I've said it before. I said in that the video again, judging, trying to see where people stood in this game. The thing I've always said about it is it just doesn't catch me. It just looks bland, maybe too much of like an attacking word. But it just doesn't look grabbing enough to me where, and again, not even even the whole spectrum of games. Like, the reason I wouldn't get this game day one is simply because I'm getting a PS5, I'm getting an extra controller, I'm getting the charging station, I'm getting Demon Souls, I'm getting Miles. I'd like to get Sackboy, but I'm not sure. 2 days before that, I'm getting Assassin's Creed. I could be getting Kingdom Hearts. The week after, I'm getting Cyberpunk. I could be getting Hyrule Warriors on the Nintendo Switch. So, I'm not made of money, but you would think that based off what I just said, right? So all of that, I would say, comes first over Godfall. And I don't think that's unfair. By the way, I think a lot of those games, at least in my mind, deserve to be over Godfall. That's a lot of money. And I'm not made of money. I can't just spend, infinite amounts of money. The cards are already going to be maxed out, let's say. Not really, but the cards will be maxed out, around this Christmas time. So, that's kind of the reason for me. But the game doesn't look bad. I will stand by that. So anybody that says in the comments that I say that this game is bad and I'm just being a hater, let me again make it one more time clear. I do not think this game looks bad in the slightest. I think the game, if anything, maybe looks just, in terms of the kind of like hack and slash looter thing that they're going for, maybe just looks a little uninspired. It doesn't look new enough. It doesn't look grabbing enough. Visually, again, it looks incredible. The near zero waiting time to come back to life after you died is incredible. Gearbox making this is, I mean, they're a great studio. You know what I mean? I mean, you can't, honestly, I tend to forget that too. You got to also think about the guys and gals that are making it. You got to think about the studio that's creating it, and they have a really good backing. So I think this game has everything to surprise me and to surprise a lot of people. Because again, I think this game will do well. I think this game will sell. I think this game will be generally okay received, which I'll give you guys my review score in a second in terms of where I think critics are going to put it. I think it's got, unlike a game like Miles, unlike a game even like maybe Demon's Souls, where I think they're more safer bets, where like they'll be like where they could swing is a lot less. They could be good, they could be great, they could be amazing, but that's you know what I mean? Like that's kind of their range. I mean, obviously amazing can stretch into like game of the year territory, or you know what I mean? But I think even like a review score, let's say, if Miles got below an 8, there would be an issue. If Demon's Souls got below, let's say, an 8, that would be an issue. The games are probably going to get mid-8s to like low 9s, right? I think we can all kind of assume that. Godfall, I think, has the biggest swing distance, and also I think Sackboy does too, where it could get, honestly, I could see Godfall getting like a 6. I could see Godfall getting a 7. I could see it getting an 8. I could see it getting a 9. I think, honestly, the range is enormous. Makes predicting it very, very difficult, because I totally could see this game being one of those, okay, this was more of like the tech demo. It doesn't have a lot of heart. It feels uninspired. It's just not all that great, and there's better choices out there. That's okay. So in terms of predicting, if the game got low scores, that's probably the things you would see. If it got high scores, I really do think it would be like surprise hit. This is a game that maybe you didn't think you needed to get day one, but you absolutely do. It's a new take on the hack and slash, right? Like just a lot of positive things like that. That's where I could see it. And again, I could see this game getting 5s and 6s. I could see this game getting 8s and 9s. Okay, I really, really do. I don't think this game is getting in like the mid 9s or a 10. Like I don't think it's going to be somewhere in that range. But again, so predicting it, well, I always give myself 4 points. Okay, I have 4 points to work with on a scale. This is tough. I'm going to say 72 to a 75. Okay, that's going to be my range. 7.2 to 7.5. That gives me 4 points right there. I think that's fair. That's kind of where like I want it to I want the game to be good, so I guess that technically that's not true, right? I obviously want it to be higher than that, but I feel like with the potential of it being bad and then also the potential of it being good, to kind of fit somewhere in the middle, because it's tough. I could totally see I keep calling them developers, which we're very thankful that they're not developers, but the gaming journalists of the world, I could definitely see some giving this game like a 5 or 6. I really, really could. If it's kind of shallow, if there's not a lot of depth to it, which again, I mean, these are things, by the way, I'm like making up, and we'll have to, and we don't know these things until we get to play the game, because from everything we've seen, it does look detailed. It does look like there is progression. It does look like there are paths you find. You know what I mean? Like it looks like there's no other way to say it than depth. There's a lot of things going on with this game. So I'm not saying it's gonna be shallow, but if they play it and they're like, there's just not a lot here, whether it be again in story or how long the game is, or again like how you can progress in the game. If that sucks, I mean, this game is getting a 5 or a 6. I mean, I really do think we're going to see that. If that succeeds, I think it'll get higher. If the core gameplay loop and again like getting the stuff and just constantly like bulking up your character, if that is all good, again that'll push the score up. If it's bad, it's going to push. I mean, obviously, right? It'll push the score down. But I think somewhere in that 72 to 75 kind of is a sweet spot. I think that would still be solid. I think you could still sell that on people. Where again, it's like it does things good. Honestly, it's a classic launch game. That's, to be quite honest with you, and I know I kind of maybe alluded to that in the beginning. That's kind of what I see Godfall as, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like Killzone Shadowfall was good. It's very forgettable, and I guess you don't want to be remembered for being forgotten. You know what I mean? Killzone Shadowfall was solid, but it really showed off what the PS4 could do. Literally day one, you put in your system, what can the PS4 do? That's what it can do, okay? And it did that very well, better than any other game, I would say, and better than, I would say, any game for quite a while, like 6 to 12 months, I would say it did that. But the game itself not really all that good, okay? I would even go so far to say Infamous Second Son. I know a lot of people wouldn't agree with me there, but definitely Killzone. Now, again, is that necessarily the worst thing in the world? I mean, I bought Killzone. I enjoyed it. I didn't love it. I don't think about it every day now, but I mean, it was a solid game, but it did some things really well. It did some things not very well at all. Godfall, out of all of them, Sackboy, Astro's Playroom, which again is a free game. I guess you can't really even include that. Demon Souls, Miles. Again, Demon Souls and Miles are the ones that they're safe. They're going to be really good games. They're not just going to be tech demos. They're not going to be half-filled, you know what I mean, or half-baked. They're going to be full-on experiences, okay? I really don't think we have to worry about those. Whereas, like, maybe with Sackboy, that's one kind of in danger. But, again, more than all of them, I think Godfall is that game where, like, is this kind of that classic launch game where it's got some things going for it, but overall it just feels like it was thrown together for launch. It could be better if it was, if it had more time, let's say, if it had like another year or so, but for what it's worth, it's not terrible, it's not bad, but it's also not very good, okay? So that's where I'll put it. Guys, let me know in the comments below, where would you put it? What would your review score prediction be for Godfall? Again, I really do want to cover this game. I want to talk about it, and I will be over the next couple weeks. We'll see what people are saying about the game, and hey, if it's a surprise hit, I have kind of money reserved for Sackboy if necessary, but I could totally be swayed to get Godfall again if it's an actual surprise. Otherwise, again, I think I'll probably just wait until it's on sale. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Again, as always, make sure you guys are subscribed, have the bell icon turned on, and I will see you all on the next video.